Hi, it's me, Martha Beth, and this is my channel, Grief Process and Care. I just wanted to let you know where I've been and what's been going on in my life. Last December, my mother, who had been ill, was 94 and she passed away. So I felt like it was time for me to take some time off and to reflect and to grieve the loss of my mother. Me and my brother and sister had been very involved in her care, especially this last 2.5 years. And so, as you know, if you've lost someone in your family of origin, there's a lot of work. It's not just about the funeral and contacting people. There's a lot. You have to clean up and give away and their items or separate them and share them. And so there's just a lot of tasks that happen at the same time while you're grieving. So I wanted to let you know that after suffering a long illness, I lost my mother. And so that's where I've been because I took some time for self-care. Now, I would like to talk with you about losing a member of your family of origin. After that person passes away and you are grieving their loss, you will not be the same person that you were before they passed away. Grieving and the loss of a loved one changes you. And the other thing that I wanted you to understand is that depending on the level of relationship that you had with that family member, if you were very close to them, that's going to determine the level of grief and the depth of grief that you will suffer and have and be in pain over. If that person, like my mother, was older and she died from an illness, sometimes you will have a chance actually to prepare for their death. It's a little more expected as a person becomes elderly in terms of the natural circle of life. But a sudden death of a family member can be very difficult to manage emotionally. And if that person was young or younger and they died from a disease, that can be very disillusioning because young people aren't supposed to pass away, especially a member of your family. And so the other thing that goes along hand in hand with that is if it's a sudden death, an unexpected death, or God forbid, a murder, that is going to take much more time for you to heal from that because it complicates your grief. And it's going to take a longer time for you to accept that and a longer time for you to process. And that processing can be very burdensome to work through psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. So when you experience the loss of a loved one like I did, it was actually more of a natural death. It is good for all of us to take some time for self-care, to reflect, and to take time to mourn the loss of the loved one. If, on the other hand, you are struggling, I want you to remember that acceptance and commitment can help you heal from your loss. And while there's no easy solutions when we lose a loved one, especially our family member, it is possible for you to work through that and take time for your personal loss, and ultimately you will find peace and joy again. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Please like and subscribe.